Good day, everyone. It's that time of the week again, and welcome back to PR Power Hour. I'm Misha, your host for this week, and today we are going to be diving into a very interesting topic of what is the reality in the PR industry with our very special guest today, Mr. Navine Karpaiyah from MSL Group. Hi, Mr. Navine. How are you feeling today?
It's been a busy day, so quite nervous, but
Having fun, huh? Right, so we believe that his expertise in PR would be really inspiring for our students, especially our audience, in terms of like getting themselves into the industry. And can you share with us a brief introduction about yourself?
as you know, my name's Navin. I'm currently a PR exec. I was a social media exec before this.
Right.
So this has been a journey from a social media exec into a PR exec, and it's been like 10 months to a year between there since I've become a PR exec. And yeah, I've studied in Melbourne, Deakin University. I did PR over there, and fun journey all the way from here to there and back to here. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Could you share with us why did you pursue PR?
First of all, I love talking to people.
Fine.
I love communicating. At the end of the day, the core value of communication is understanding each other and getting to know each other on a personal basis.
Yeah.
If you can't communicate with someone, you're not going to be able to understand what they're trying to portray about themselves and their values and their beliefs and their all the things. So PR was like an avenue for me to utilize and to emphasize my understanding about communication with people and brands and how you can bring brands to people.
Right,
Yeah.
well said. Okay, talk us through the transition of your, like, how did you go from a PR student to a PR exec? Like, what personal transition?
Personal transition wise, not gonna lie, it's not a glamorous transition. Like how everybody says, oh, you've studied here and then you go into a job and then you're like, we're working with this brand, that brand. No, not really, to be honest. Whatever I study
Yeah.
is not 100% utilized in what I'm doing right now. At the end of the day, what you're studying is very technical. You're going to study a lot of words. You're going to study a lot of understanding regarding the market, regarding your brand and how the brand can utilize the market to advertise their products and get their values to the people they want to target.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, all the things you study are going to be at the back of your mind.
True.
When you enter, the only thing that matters is the person representing the brand that you are talking to. Because that person has the idea of how they want their brand to go.
Okay.
And what's your job? Your job is to make sure you get the idea of what their idea is and make sure that idea is transitioned and translated properly into the market.
Right, okay. Talking about ideas and everything, could you share with us your job scope right now? As a
My
PR
job
exec?
scope currently, PR exec, I have, my seniors. I have a account manager, I have a senior account manager, and then I have an AD, and then there's my GM. So my job scope currently is to carry out some of the orders from my account manager
Right.
and the senior account manager, and then also to come up with creative ideas so that I can assist them in creating a proper campaign.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I also do some social media work, as you know, from transitioning from a social media exec to a PR exec. There are certain aspects of social media that I'm utilizing in my current job as a PR exec.
Okay, and what are some of the challenges you faced along this way?
Oh, biggest challenge is actually getting to understand what a brand wants from their product and how they want it to be shown to the people.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, we as people have our own ideas, have our own understanding of what a brand is, of what a product is.
Yeah.
To give you an example, see, we all have iPhones, right?
Yeah,
But what if you're working for Samsung?
true.
You can't take what an iPhone represents and try to showcase it through an Samsung. You have to understand what Samsung is trying to stand for. So at the end of the day, as an iPhone user, as a constant iPhone user and a loyal iPhone user, you have to put that behind you and make sure that you understand that what Samsung is trying to provide its customers are
Yeah.
the best smartphone experience.
Okay, fair enough. Now we're going to go into a more personal question. We have done some research. Okay, so based on your LinkedIn, you did
My
mention
LinkedIn
that.
is not complete.
Okay, but based on it, we have gotten that you have like excellent public speaking skills as well as communication skills. You highlighted on that. So how did you develop these skills?
To be really honest, I just started talking. I know it sounds very lame, but the truth is this. You are
Yeah.
talking on a daily basis. No matter what you're doing, you're talking to people. It's just that how you want to talk to people that matters. Do you want what you talk to reach a large group of people, or do you want it to just reach one person? At the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, in the middle of the day, We are talking, and talking constantly. We can talk to a shop owner.
Yeah.
We can talk to our partners. We can talk to our family members. We can talk to our superiors. We can also talk to ourselves.
Right.
What we want to do is make sure that the ability to talk doesn't just stay as the ability to talk. You have to change it into the ability to communicate with a large group of people and make sure that your idea is imprinted on that large group of people by the time you're done talking.
Right.
So that was my whole concept behind public speaking when I first started it. I studied in the Enemy, Sunway Uni, to all of you. The first subject or the first credit point that I ever did was public speaking. It was a compulsory course, and they were like, you have to do this, or you have to continue doing it until you pass it all the way to the final semester. So the point of it was to make sure that you are able to talk in front of a group of people confidently, because that's what communication stands for. That's why I developed my public speaking skills.
So as a whole, you just put yourself out there and just start talking.
Yes, that is it in a nutshell.
Okay, so you've developed all these skills and everything. How have you applied these public speaking skills or whatever, like your communications and everything in your PR work?
When you do a campaign, it just doesn't end with a deck. You start with idea creation, you move into creating a deck, and then at the end of the day, you have to go and present it to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And the bunch of people are usually the people who approve that ideas and the deck that you've created. So public speaking is used when I present my ideas to the people in the most convincing way so that they can accept my idea as their idea.
Yeah.
Most of the time that's what happens. But then nowadays you sit in office, you have to make sure that your idea gets past the people that you're working with before it even gets to the people that you're trying to present to. So communication skill wise, I'm just communicating to the people I work with every day, the people that I collaborate with every day, the people that I make sure to bring into the company to work with every day. Public speaking wise, I've done 2 pitches so far. It's gone well. So yeah.
As PR students here, we are eager to know, like, what is the essential skill, or like what is that one key skill that you need before you go into the industry?
I don't know if you've watched this movie called Whiplash.
Okay.
It's about a guy who strives to be the best drummer possible and a teacher who he could never satisfy. There's no 2 words that is more damaging than good job.
Okay.
Because the minute you accept that you've done a great job or a good job, you're not striving for perfection anymore.
True.
You have to strive for perfection. You have to strive for something more. You've never achieved everything. You learn until you die. The day you die is the day you stop learning. Until then, every lesson has to be learned. Every mistake has to be understood, and a lesson has to be derived from that mistake. The key point and the number one thing that we all have to have is perseverance. You don't persevere in the real world. If you don't persevere in your life, you're not going to get anywhere. You can have all the brains you want. You can have all the education you want. You can have, all the money you want in the world. But at the end of the day, all of this runs out. The only thing that should never run out is your spirit to succeed. If you can't succeed, you're going to fail. And the minute you fail, you have to get up and continue trying to succeed.
True. Because perseverance.
Exactly.
Well said. Okay. This is something that for students, right, there's always been like a longing dilemma. Where do we apply? Like, should we go into like a big PR company with such as MSL, or like should we start small and learn more and things like that? What is your take on it?
My take on it is very simple. Grab the first opportunity you get.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you work in a small agency or a big agency. Experience is experience. If you work in a small agency, you might have big clients, which requires you to work out of your skin every single day. But if you work in a big agency, you're still going to have big clients. It's just that you have a bigger team to work with.
Yeah.
The thing is, grab an opportunity you get. Don't say, I want to work with a small agency first before moving into a big agency, or I want to work with a big agency immediately. I won't entertain small agencies. No, opportunities are rare. The minute you get an opportunity to actually enter the world, you do it. What do you want in life? Do you want to start big and end small? Or do you want to start small and end up big and then get comfortable at the big and never try to move down? What's your opinion on this?
Well, for me personally, I would start big because we have this idea like, putting like a big PR agency in our CV from the beginning would like get us the best position later on, right? So my opinion is like, if you get the opportunity to like start big, I'd go for it.
So if you've already reached the top, what's the progression from there?
To be fair, I'm starting as an intern at a big company. So there is a lot more for me to climb up and like learn from it. So for me, I'm not starting at the top. I'm starting at the bottom at a bigger place, a bigger opportunity for me to branch out even further.
Understood. My opinion is, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you start big or go small, if you start small and go big, an opportunity is an opportunity. You have to grab the first one that comes along. Doesn't matter if you want to start small and go big or start big and then never go small after that. That's not how life works.
Yeah.
If you're up there, one day you're gonna fall.
True.
It's your job to make sure you just climb back up.
True.
So my advice is this: an opportunity has to be grabbed the minute it comes along. Experience is experience. If you're gonna struggle in a big agency, working for big clients, you're gonna enter the small agency and still struggle, because small agencies are working out of their skin to make sure that they get big clients. That's why they're small agencies before they turn into the big agencies. Doesn't matter who you work for. It just matters how you are working. You must make sure that you are the best version of yourself every single day. Do not settle. Do not be comfortable. Comfortability is a bane that will always stick with you.
Yeah.
You must make sure to continue looking for the next opportunity that comes along, to see if it betters you as a person, betters you as an individual, betters you as a PR exec.
Can you just describe to us and compare how your working life was being a PR intern and then a PR exec at two different companies?
So I interned in Melbourne under this company called FedSquare. Uni given internship that we worked for FedSquare. We had to create a campaign for the Christmas 2020 campaign, I believe, where we had to come up with a whole citywide campaign that emphasizes Christmas and a foreign Christmas specifically. We utilize all aspects of different cultures to enhance the multiculturalness of Melbourne. So I was working there, and the truth is, it's very different, because the mindset they have there is very chill. They want to use campaigns to promote certain things, like how the country as a whole works. Here, on the other hand, every campaign is to make sure a product sells. Malaysia is very hardwired to make sales. Malaysia is very hardwired to think that you must make money.
Yes.
In Melbourne, it's not like that. Monday to Friday you work, Saturday, Sunday you just chill. You go have a picnic. Make sure you emphasize family time. Here, on the other hand, you work from Monday to Sunday. You work overtime. You bust your body every single day just to make sure you make money. But that's not how it should be. You have to make sure there's a balance. But Malaysians disregard work-life balance to a point where we lose all semblance of life. My career here has not been exactly like how I envisioned it to be when I was there, because I envisioned it to be something so different. When I came here, life reality hit.
Final words, would you share with us some of the advice for our PR students in terms of employability rate? Coming to MSL, if I'm an intern, I want to apply for MSL. What do I need?
You need to accept rejection. You're not going to get into what you want immediately. You need to accept that there's someone better than you. There's always somebody better than you. You're not the best, and you never will be. The minute you say you're the best,
gone.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you are disillusioned about what you're getting in the working industry compared to what you studied, that's life. You just got to accept it and work every day. Your love was not for money. Your love was not for what you are working for, or brand, nothing. Your love was for your love for PR. Your passion for PR is what stands until the end. So make sure your passion doesn't disappear. You are going to have days where you're going to fall. You are going to have days where you're going to think this is not worth it. Point is this: you got to wake up the next day and think, you know what? I still love this. This is what I stood for. This is what I wanted. I'm going to work for it.
I think we dived into the reality of the real PR industry. Thank you so much. And with that, I will conclude today's podcast episode. I hope you guys learned a thing or two, and stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you. Bye.